The day is March 31st, 2021. Or at least it should be if I make this video on time. It's been talked to death and it's been memed to death, because as we all know, Mario 3D All-Stars, Mario 35 and the Fire Emblem game for some reason are all getting removed from the eShop. They are a limited release. Well, except for Mario 35, that one is just straight up unplayable anymore. We all also know why Nintendo is doing this, because it creates artificial scarcity, it makes you wanna buy the game as soon as possible, it boosts sales for Nintendo until the end of the fiscal year so that they keep investors happy. It's cheaty, it's scummy, very mean, you get the idea. However, now that we finally reached the infamous date, I think we should start talking about something else. We already know we are losing our Marios, and there's not much we can do about it, but what we don't know is if we are losing something else later. Now that we're on Zelda's and Metroid's and Donkey Kong's anniversary, we could see a collection of those franchises that also happens to have very limiting expiration date. This has been a concern for many people, and reasonably so. We don't want such damning thing happening again to products we otherwise want to support, and for that I shall clear you all of doubt and worry, because my crystal ball is now giving me the 100% flawless guarantee that limited releases are not going away. Is this video gonna age badly? Maybe. Do I have the fear that it'll age badly? Well, no, not at all. I'm not worried that Nintendo may actually do the right thing. If anything, I'm hopeful they will. Skyward Sword HD, for as much as I can trash talk it, isn't limited as far as I'm concerned, which shouldn't be anything worth celebrating, but after this devastating track record, I'll just give it that credit. However, as much as I'd like to believe that's the new direction we're heading, I don't know man, I'm just not buying it. When I say Nintendo's gonna keep this trend of limited releases, I wanna leave one thing clear, I'm strictly talking about smaller titles. A new modern game from a beloved series will never be a limited release. Had Nintendo made something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe a limited release, that game would have sold dozens of millions of copies less. No. When I say limited releases are staying, I mean it for ports of old Marios and Zeldas and Fire Emblems that were clearly made on a hot weekend, but Nintendo obviously wants them to sell. With that said, I should start my essay of hundreds of detailed reasons explaining why I think that way. But am I really going to do that? The reason is as clear as day. It just makes sense. As I stated in my Skyward Sword video, one should always separate business sense from moral sense. Just because a company sees reasonable to do something doesn't mean we should be okay with it. Limited releases are such example. They suck, they're completely anti-consumer, and yet one thing for sure, they work. So when I say it's logical for Nintendo to keep doing limited releases, I don't actually mean we shouldn't complain about them. Mario 3D All-Stars could have been just another collection that exists to make a few fans happy and nothing more, but it sold 80 million copies, even outselling one of the games it includes as a package. Could that have been thanks to Nintendo's aggressive marketing and Mario's figure? Maybe, but that's the thing. It's Mario. What if next time it isn't? What if Nintendo makes a Pikmin collection? You know, that franchise that pitifully never reached 2 million copies sold with a single game? Yeah, now tell me, what do you think Nintendo's gonna do if they want to sell that to people? They're gonna look at 3D All-Stars and Mario 35 and Shadow Dragon, and the solution would just manifest in front of them. Now there's two things I may wanna consider. First, what if Nintendo does the right thing? Nintendo isn't a stranger to doing pro-consumer things like releasing complete games without glitches and not abusing DLC and microtransactions. What if they realize limited releases are kinda stinky? I'd like to think they will. Nintendo has been at its lowest morale as of late. Many things that we once thought unthinkable of them turned out to happen, including the certain treatment of a controller malfunction that affects millions of their customers since 2017. But in effort not to be pessimistic, I'll say that, yeah, maybe they can change their mind. The second thing they may consider is that maybe limited releases don't work well for them. Suddenly 3 All-Stars will stop selling, and stopping an 8 million unit selling from, well, selling is maybe nonsensical for them. This is also true. Like I said, this type of mentality only works when you think of limited releases as just Mario. But Nintendo doesn't have the average mentality, does it? So really anything's possible. All that's left to do is wait, maybe just a couple of hours, and see. What will happen with 3D All-Stars, what's gonna happen with Zelda's 35th anniversary, how will Nintendo handle the limited releases moving forward, all things we want to know as soon as possible. But for now, I'll just take my gamble and say limited releases are here to stay. And boy do I hope I'm wrong.